Stabbed his teacher to death at Ramotshere secondary school in Dinokana near Zeerust in northwest has been sentenced to 10 years in jail today. The sentence was handed down in the Lehurutshe Magistrate's Court. The learner pled guilty to killing Gadimang Mokolobate in September last year. Our reporter Sentleeng Lehihi joins us now from Mahikeng. Sentleeng, good evening to you. How did this teenager react as the sentence was handed down today?
Indeed, a very eventful and emotional day we had at the Lehurutshe Magistrate Court near Zeerust in Northwest. To answer your question, it was very difficult to read the young man, as when we were sitting there listening to the magistrate, one of the complaints that she had put forward is that this young man had indeed shown no remorse whatsoever for the deed that he had done, and in fact was unapologetic in fact to the family of the deceased. It is then that when we looked at his demeanor, he was in fact, he had no expression, for lack of a better word. He kept looking back at his mother and listening very attentively to the interpreter to really take in and digest exactly what the magistrate was saying. But just to give you a bit of background as to how the day unfolded, we arrived there quite early at about 8:30. When we arrived there, the gallery was not packed as such. We saw the mother of Mokolobate there with some members of her family, very emotional and distraught at the idea that, today they will hear the fate of the man or the young man who took their son's life. After a few hours, the gallery began packing up, and police were at pains indeed to bring some sort of control to the events, as many were fighting for space there. And as you know, the courts in this area are quite small and they could not fit everybody. So a decision was then taken to allow the gallery to only accommodate certain family members, some educational stakeholders and the media. But mind you, given that this case dealt with a minor, we were given very strict instructions to not at all expose or identify the young man and his family. We were, however, given an opportunity to record proceedings as the magistrate detailed her sentencing. As I had said, in her sentencing, she explained that having read through the pre-sentencing report, it is clear that the young man had no remorse for what he had done. He had no need to appeal for forgiveness from the family. And in fact, what was most disturbing is that we heard from the magistrate that during the accused interaction with one of the councillors, he in fact used some derogatory terms and demeaning terms to refer to the late. And it was in that view that the magistrate decided that a 10-year sentence would be appropriate for the young man. Following the sentencing, we attempted to speak to the young man's family. His mother was quite adamant not to speak to us, explaining very well that we were bordering on harassing her and the man who was accompanying her. Following which, we then spoke to the Mokolobate family, which went to detail about they believe that the justice system failed them. They say 10 years is not enough. They say in due time they will see this young man who killed their son walk the streets freely.
Sentleeng, thank you very much indeed. Our reporter there in Mahikeng, Sentleeng Lehihi. And of course, stay with us, a lot more news to come. Don't forget, there will be more on illegal mining in On the Record, and also the Public Protector at 7 o'clock. Stay with us.